The goal of our fall tour was simple. We planned to sample some of the greatest walleye fisheries Manitoba has to offer. We decided to split our fishing into two main regions, the north and the south. The northern portion of this tour, we're focusing on the Grass River system. The Grass River starts in 3rd Cranberry Lake and runs approximately 600 kilometers, ending at the Nelson River, which eventually flows into Hudson Bay. While I've spent a good amount of time in the north, I haven't spent a good amount of time walleye fishing, especially in the fall time. So there's an excitement visiting these new locations and trying to piece together the puzzle of these fall walleyes. First stop, we're in the city, picking up my boy Troy. We haven't gone on a fishing trip this big before. This is going to be momentous. I'll be happy to get on the road. What'd you say?
You say this is going to be romantic?
I said romantic, yes. Troy, it's been a while. Let's go. When planning this trip, I thought, who should I bring along? After not much thought, it was my buddy Troy. Troy Voth and I both grew up in the same town of Altona, Manitoba. We'd spent many hours fishing together at the Altona Nature Pond, and while we were very close friends, we had never really gone on a major fishing road trip together. So I asked him, can you take off the dates? He said yes, and we were headed north. Well, we've been on the road for a couple hours now. We just passed through Inner Lake region, driving right up between Lake Manitoba and Lake Winnipeg. We were headed to the northern region. That is where we're spending this leg of our journey, and there's only one goal, and it's big walleyes. We're starting things off at Viking Lodge, which is on the Cranberry Lakes, and I've never fished the Cranberry Lakes before, so I'm pretty excited. I've been doing a little research, and there's some big walleyes sticking around there, and that is the focus. That is all we're fishing for on this trip. And Troy's a pretty good walleye fisherman, but he hasn't cracked a true giant, so that's kind of what we're hoping for. We have made it. I left at 10:30 this morning, but we are here at Viking Lodge. It's bedtime. Rise and shine. We made it. Got in at about 9 o'clock, and we got up at a decent time. I think it's about 7 o'clock. Sun is just about to break the horizon, and this is our home for the next 2 days. This is Viking Lodge. We're gonna head over to the main lodge, go have some coffee, have a little chat with Paul. He said he's willing to share some of his hotspots with us, so point us in the right direction at least, and then let us loose and see if we can catch some walleyes. Our first stop on the tour was Viking Lodge, located on the Cranberry Lakes. The cool thing about the Cranberry Lakes is that there's multiple lakes you can fish all from the same boat launch. They are located on 1st Cranberry Lake. You can boat into 2nd Cranberry, 3rd Cranberry, and Simon House Lake as well, all which hold trophy walleyes. Based on the recommendations of Matt and Paul, the owners, they pointed us towards 2nd Cranberry Lake, and that is where we spent the majority of our time. We made it all the way across 1st Cranberry Lake. We're now in 2nd Cranberry Lake, and it's time to look for some walleyes. So Paul, the owner, said don't even bother fishing unless you're marking fish. So that's what we're doing. We're doing a little auto charting, doing a little graphing, and I think we're gonna find some walleyes. Oh, I have a fish. First fish. We're hooked up. It's not big, Troy. Relax.
That's lazy.
Just barely loaded up. Come on! Come on! Oh my goodness. This is not what we drove 10 hours for, but it is a nice specimen, glistening in the light. What do you think, Troy? Trip made? A little update for you guys at home. We're struggling a little bit. It is flat, calm conditions, which owner Paul told us is not ideal. I mean, that's not ideal for most walleye lakes, but he said specifically here they struggle when it's flat. We're gonna keep moving around, auto charting a lot of spots, mapping it out. There isn't any high definition maps out there. of this lake, so you kind of got to figure it out, but that also leaves the door open for finding spots that people haven't found before, so we are going to keep moving. Come on, Troy, hit him, hit him, hit him, hit him! Yes! Yes! First walleye of the trip! All right, that looks heavy. That looks heavy. Oh, I hope it's a walleye. If that's a walleye, it's big. I'm extending the net long, just in case.
That was the softest, slowest hit.
Troy's personal best is 24 inches. Ooh, that's a nice walleye. Yeah, buddy. Well, that's probably gonna be 24 inches.
Right up there.
Nice. All right, Troy. Hold it with the other hand. Yeah, there we go. How was the bite?
Soft.
Yeah.
Go home.
Going back. A little push. Oh. We're on the board.
It took Troy and I a little while to find the walleyes, but eventually we came upon a main lake island, a big flat that extended out, 30 feet of water that dropped into 90. Started marking fish, and after Troy caught that first walleye, I knew that we were onto a pretty special spot.
On again? Yes, we found some fish. How's it feel? All right, I'm the net boy, that's fine. Ooh, those are big head shakes. Ooh, loosen that up a bit. Oh, geez. Oh, look at, oh, Troy! But that's a good one. That's a good one. They're getting bigger. All right, we're on them. Yes. All right, show it to me. There we go, Troy. What do you think? That's a good 5 minutes of fishing. That's a PB, I would say. All right. Oh, yeah, 27 1/4. All right. Nice. Nice. Perfect. There we go, back to back. Look at that fish coming up for me. Oh boy, here we go. Yes! Ooh, big fish. Big fish. Oh man, he came up and just lunched it. Feels pretty good. My first hookup of the day. Ooh, that's nice. Oh, the average size is ridiculous. Oh man. Guys, I heard the average size was good, but this is pretty impressive. Third walleye, and our smallest is 22. This is probably another like 23 incher. So good. Finally, we found a spot, and seems to be quite a few fish here. Guys, I've been getting a lot of questions about what net I use. I don't know, I guess there's not a lot of nets like this, but this is my favorite walleye net. This is a Freybill 350029 Conservation Series catch and release landing net. So it's a nice rubber mesh. I like the big hoop as well. It's good for pretty much everything other than like muskies or sturgeon, pretty much everything else. It's a little slow for bass. I still use it for bass because I don't have a different tournament net for bass, but for walleyes, amazing. For, you know, trout, so good. And it is such a long net. Like, I mean, my boat's 18.5 feet, so this net is probably 10 or 11 feet long. Anyways, super good for reaching when those fish come far away. I've had quite a few different nets, and this is definitely my favorite. Come on, big mark, coming up to my bait. Oh, he's all over it, all over it, all over it. Oh, he just darted down. Oh! Oh, those head shakes are scary. Okay, I think it's big. Oh, that's big. Come on. Oh, that's a tank. Oh, that's big. It's not that long, but it's so fat. Guys, this average size is absolutely ridiculous. Got 4 walleyes. Look at that guy. That is the perky dorsal. Probably like 25, 26 incher, but so fat. Didn't even need bait for this one. This fish is gonna be charged up. So this is what's done the damage. This is what I've been using. This mean looking little guy. 10 gram Acme, very dense bait, very easy to keep it vertical below the boat. And I'm actually watching it on the graph while I'm going up and down. I'll show you what Troy's using. Troy is using a classic jig and a worm. This is called the Google Eye jig. These are actually both made by Acme. It's got a big loud rattle in it. Gold seems to have been working. It's also the only color he's used. Oh wow, this one's engaging nicely. Wow, these fish are fat. You can net that guy. I didn't think it was that big. It's like, yeah. Guys, I know I sound like a broken record, but the average size, this is, I want to say the best average size I've ever had walleye fishing. Guys, there are so many fish on there right now. I think they're more walleyes. We slid a little shallower than we were fishing. I think I'm gonna drop the aqua view down. I'll hook up the recording stuff so you guys can see, and we'll see what they actually are. I hope they're walleyes. They kind of look like walleyes, but the camera dispels any doubt on what it might be. So, oh, there's multiple walleyes. Guys, this is insane. Guys, that right there is why you need an underwater camera. So cool. Obviously, it's good to tell you what's going on, but it's also just super neat. So many people think an underwater camera is just an ice fishing tool, but mine's in my boat all the time, and it just solved the mystery there. Well, it didn't really solve the mystery because there's a mix of suckers and walleyes, but we knew that a lot of those fish marking were. Obviously, it took a lot of spots until we found this spot. And I'd like to say I know exactly why they're all here, but I don't for sure, but there are a couple things I look for. This was a long extended point sticking out to the main lake. It gave a big shelf. You don't always necessarily want this sheer drop. Sometimes the fish hold on it, but it's nice to have a shelf for them to hold on. So here there's a 30-foot flat that stuck out into 40, and then it kind of plummeted into 90. And we were just working up and down on that flat, and that's where we found the fish. It kind of gives them an area. I'm using my side imaging as well to see what's on that point. If it's just a smooth point, it might not hold as many fish, but I could see that there's a bunch of rubble, rocks, and that's the type of stuff you like. I dropped down a camera as well to verify they weren't all suckers that we were seeing.
Troy and I decided to take a break from jigging and to throw some crankbaits, hoping for a bigger bite.
Oh, you on?
Yeah.
Troy's on, hooked up. Troy's hooked up on the crank. Oh, I hope it's not a lake trout. If it's a walleye, it's gonna be a good one.
Oh, that thing feels heavy all of a sudden at the end.
Oh. Okay, got the remote too if we need it.
Some head shakes again.
Oh, did it just pop off?
Nope.
Oh, it just popped off. Oh! Oh! What? No way!
Yeah.
Today's your birthday? The cameras were off for this moment. It's Troy's birthday today and he didn't tell me. I didn't know. Troy's one of my best buddies. I've known him forever and I didn't know today was his birthday, so I'm obviously a very poor friend.
In his defense, I forgot it was my birthday too.
Troy forgot it was his birthday as well, so. Fish.
Confirmed?
Yeah, that's a walleye. I don't think it's big.
Should I reel it?
Sure. Oh. Not a walleye. All right, this is what we thought might have been happening. And I got your line. I thought I felt something funny. All right, here we go. This is potentially what we lost before. We're gonna pretend that we didn't lose a big walleye and then we just lost a nice Cranberry Lakes Laker. There you go. Hey baby, nice orange fins though. Well, that is one of the cool parts about the Cranberry Lakes. They have lake trout, which is a nice little bonus, kind of cool at this time of year because the Lakers are moving a little shallow, walleyes are moving a little deeper, and they kind of share the same location. So maybe we'll get some more trolling. I won't be surprised. Big Laker would be cool, but a really big walleye would be cooler. And we'll just keep going with it. That is a wrap on day one. Troy got a personal best walleye on his birthday. Pretty awesome. Yeah, we're gonna go back to Viking Lodge, eat some burgers, make a game plan for tomorrow. It was good today. Average size was awesome, but it was kind of like 1 hour long session of where it really happened. So we're gonna try to spread that out all day tomorrow. I think the weather's gonna be a little cloudier, windier, rainier, which will be less nice for filming, but probably more nice for fish biting. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, day 2, here we go. Weather's a little bit exactly opposite of yesterday, which could be good for the fishing. Not as nice for filming. Feeling confident. We left a lot of fish there yesterday that we saw in the underwater camera that didn't want to bite. So if they're all biting today, we're gonna have a really good day. That's about it. Here we go. Come on, let's catch a fish. Really big mark coming up for my bait. Really big mark coming up for my bait. He's all over it. He is staring at it. He is, oh, yes! Big fish, big fish, big fish, big fish. Yes. This is a big walleye. Big walleye. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, this fish is heavy. Just doing what it wants, staying down. The goal is big walleyes, but I'll be okay with a big lake trout. It could be just a massive walleye. There we go. That is not a big walleye. All right, not the 35-inch walleye we were maybe thinking, but that's the cool part about the Cranberry Lakes. Awesome lake trout population. There's not many places you can get big Lakers mixed in with big walleyes. So it's a nice little specimen. They're starting to move up shallow to spawn, and yeah, exciting. Yes, yes. Troy's hooked up finally. Is it a sucker? Is it a walleye? Who knows? I'm gonna try to net and film. Troy, what are you thinking?
Thinking heavy.
Thinking big.
Couple good head
Looking
on there.
To crack his first Manitoba Master Angler walleye. Day 2. And we got something hooked up. Looks pretty nice.
Try to bring him back your way.
Yeah. Ooh, that looks long. That looks long. Ooh, that's a good one. Come on, Troy, let's hear some excitement.
Let's first see how big it is.
Throw him on the tape first, I think. 25 and a half, 26. All right, I want to get a quick look at it. All right, yep. Not fat, but second biggest walleye of the trip. Never mind. There she goes. What was your secret there?
Dead stick it.
You might have been on the phone at the time.
I was actually trying to make a phone call.
Do you have him? Hit him. Yes. Yes. Big shout out to the crew over there that put us on this spot. Okay, Troy, give us a little emotion.
That's how you get broken hearts when they get away.
What do you think? Any predictions?
Man.
Bigger than the last?
Yeah.
Hopefully not a lake trout.
Don't need those. Not right now.
Although you have never caught a lake trout before.
I've never caught a lake trout.
Yep. Ooh, that's pretty big. Oh, that's a fatty. I don't know if it's longer, but it is a tank. All right. You are on a roll. A little fat on the last one. Let's, I don't even know if we need to measure, probably like 25, 26 incher. You want to just pull that net out of the way altogether? Oh, the jig's in that, never mind. There she goes. All right. He's hooked up. My boy Troy. Is it a sucker? Troy's hooked up. It's been a while. I think it might be a walleye. What if this is actually a Troy? What if this is the moment? No, this is good.
You can catch some footballs that aren't that long.
Ooh, that's a pretty big fish. Oh, that's a long one. Oh, that's a good walleye. Guys, we are so spoiled. All right, let's see it, Troy. Man, that's good. That is so good. Let's put it on the board just to show you guys what we're dealing with. And I think it's gonna be another like 25 incher.
25 exactly.
25, that is pretty close to the average size. Oh, okay. Another northern Manitoba beauty. I'm not even gonna measure it. Average size 22 to 26 inches, it seems like. We're getting spoiled. And I know we keep talking about that master, that 28-inch mark, but by walleye fishing standards anywhere, this is already pretty incredible. Jig and minnow. It's a standard, it's a staple. That's how I got bit. That's how Troy caught all of his fish today. So maybe they just need a little bit of meat today. We got a lot going on. All right, all right, all right. Oh no, we're hooked. We are hooked. We're hooked. We're hooked. We're hooked. Oh, come on. Oh, that's big. Oh, that might be it. That might be it. That might be it. I don't know, Troy.
I don't know.
We might have done it in the dying hours. All right, Troy, first we're measuring this beauty. Lay her down, lay her down. Let's see what we got. Once again, 27 and a bit.
Quarter.
All right, there's nothing wrong with that. Look at that, hog. And we got like another hour or two, Troy.
We got time.
2 days at Viking Lodge was definitely not enough. We just scratched the surface of this incredible fishery. The average size of walleye was nothing I've ever experienced before. Matt and Paul were able to fish beside us through the 2 days, and they showed us some big fish as well. As much as we wanted to stay longer, we had to move on to our next location. Our next stop on the tour was Wekusko Falls Lodge, and the amazing thing about the location of where they're at is you are literally right beside the Grass River. It is raging beside you. There's white water, there's waterfalls, and on one side of the white water you have Trapping Lake, on the other side you have Wekusko Lake, both trophy walleye factories. We decided to spend our final 2 days of walleye fishing on this tour on Wekusko Lake, and we were not disappointed.
You've probably seen some videos here before if you watch YouTube fishing videos. Aaron spent a lot of time up here. I've been here once or twice. We'll see if the owner, Brian, is around. He's a hardcore fisherman, which helps. Both Viking and Wekusko, the owners are anglers, which is so great because they're just in tune with what's going on. But I think Brian was going to shoot a moose this morning, so we'll see if we can track him down.
Thinking this is gonna be pretty sweet.
Even though our main stops are Cranberry and Wekusko, it's about this whole system, and there's so many lakes along the way, so don't be afraid to check out some of those other lakes. There's Reed, Laux, Squassum, Trapping, Wekusko. I think Elbow might be another one that's part of it, but there's a lot of water to check out. We are, I don't know how many miles downstream from Cranberry where it all starts, and we're gonna get settled into our cabin here. I think this will be just perfect. We are loaded up. We're not going far, we're going to cross the road to Wekusko Lake. And man, perfect weather. We're gonna make the most of today. All right guys, we made it to the base of the falls. You can do the guided route, which is awesome. But if you don't want to do the guided route, these guys will definitely point you in the right direction. Brian's a very knowledgeable angler. And he said the bite's pretty good at the base of the rapids right now. So we're gonna go 10 yards, 20 yards from the boat launch, and supposedly there's a pretty good fall migration of walleyes to the base here. So we're just waiting for Troy and we'll get fishing.
It's gonna be the day.
Welcome to.
I found my lucky jigging lure.
You're gonna catch fish with that?
Yeah.
Well,
Day 3 of the Northern Manitoba Walleye Tour, Wekusko Falls. Ironically enough.
Ironically enough, there's the falls.
They always say you have to get as far away from the boat launch as possible. There's the boat launch. That's where we're fishing.
We traveled many miles to find all of these fish. There's the boat launch. We're just kidding. We didn't go that far. All right, Troy, drop down. I'll let you get the first one. I'm just gonna film. There we go. My boy Troy, first walleye. Ooh, oh, you suck. There we go. Yeah, first walleye. Wekusko Falls Lodge, Grass River. Here we go.
2.
Numero 3, that means 3 in French. Oh, number 4, look at that one. Lean, but long, 26 inches if I were to guess.
5.
Number 6. As good as vertical jigging is, just casting a bit and hopping it back is just so effective for covering water. So you're not waiting for that fish to come to you. 7. Number 8. We're gonna crush a bunch of these fish, and then I think we're gonna go into the main lake and hunt for a monster, but we got a little more smackdown to put on these fish.
10.
Our first double header.
11 and 12. 14.
15 maybe?
16. 18.
19. Oh.
20. 22.
This is why you come to Manitoba. This is why you drive 9 hours north.
24.
We are fishing 12 feet of water, guys. Pitching jigs.
30.
31. 34.
31.
Long and mean.
Where are you?
37. 38. There's Troy's 39. 40.
41.
People ask me sometimes, what size walleye jig do you like to use? And there's not really one specific answer because you want to suit it for the conditions. You always want to use, typically, the lightest jig you can get away with. If you're fishing deeper, fishing heavier current, you're gonna have to use a heavier jig. Might have to go up to a 1/2 ounce in extreme conditions. Right now we're fishing with a 3/8 ounce, 1/4 ounce if we, on the smaller size. Then you can get a little more drift with the current, but you want to be able to feel bottom. Maintaining bottom contact is so important. So yeah, play around with jig sizes, and I would say like that's more important than color, because making sure you're in the strike zone is more important than color. 42 and 43.
44. 45.
A little lower. Yeah, there you go. As you guys can see, mine are averaging just slightly bigger than Troy's. Oh, 49 and 50.
49.
Just check the GoPro, that is number 50 in 2 hours and 17 minutes.
The fishing below Wekusko Falls was absolutely silly. That was by far some of the fastest walleye fishing I'd ever seen. So many fish, shallow water pitching jigs. It was amazing. But we knew if we wanted to catch a true monster, we needed to head to the main lake. So that's what we did next. That afternoon we probably bounced around between 8 or 10 spots, but finally, right as the sun started to set, we found a spot with some active fish.
Oh, we're on them. Ooh, 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 ooh. We've been running all over Wekusko Lake, and we're down to just the last half hour of the day. I'll just, yeah, net them, sure, why not? That is a dandy of a walleye. And I think we're still gonna get a big one tonight. Like, this is it. We don't have to wait till the last day. I know. Oh! This might happen. So it's pretty interesting because we're catching fish now in 30 feet of water on a mid-lake hump, and just before we're catching them in 10 feet of water in front of a rapids. And that's the cool thing about walleyes, I would say more so than a lot of fish, is they can be like in any depth at any time of the year. Late summer, fall time, generally deeper. I would favor. Springtime, shallow, I would favor, but you can always find walleyes deep. Guys, I marked a couple fish on the down scan that were just like barely off bottom. I think I marked 2 fish, and now we're just like bite after bite. Oh, the fish I'm finding tonight are right at the bottom of this hump where the rock meets the mud. Man, that is a fat fish. I don't think it's that long, but it is just stocky. The sun is setting, the walleyes are biting. Wekusko Falls Lodge is where it's going down right now. Troy's hooked up. Ooh, that's a nice one. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. That's pretty good. Oh, it's so tough to tell. It's so tough to tell. Fat. Look at this, guys. It's on right now. It is on. I don't even want to take time to do anything other than Drop the lure. 27-inch here from my boy Troy. Man, this is good. When people see a hump on the map or they map out a hump on their auto chart, they're so concerned with, you know, they think the fish are on the top of it. But right now, these fish are right at the bottom of the hump. I saw the rock. So on one side of the side imaging, I'm seeing rock. One side I'm seeing mud. And we're right on that line. And that seems to be where the fish are sitting. They're not necessarily sliding up on top. That looks big, Troy. Yep, that's big. Oh, that's long. Oh, that's gotta be it. That's, yes, 100%. That is it. That is it. There's no way that's not it. That's gotta be it. All right, Troy, first show us the fish, and then we'll see if it's the one we were hunting for. That looks big. That is not the fattest fish, but that fish is long. Smile for me, Troy. All right, let's throw it on the tape. Boom. 28 3/4 incher. The sun has set and we did it. Mission accomplished. All right, put this big girl back because they are what keep the fisheries good.
There she goes. So long.
Oh! Troy, time for a acceptance speech.
It's been a long time coming. It's been a lot of hours in a boat looking for one of those. Oh wow, I didn't even touch the bottom yet. Oh.
Big? That looks big.
That's... I don't want to get your hopes up, but...
No, that's pretty big. That's pretty big. That's the second biggest one of the night. 27.5.
Oh.
Hold it up.
Can you see? Is my headlamp in there?
That looks great. You look good. 27.5 for Troy. All right, put it back.
This will be a trip to remember, no doubt.
Well, our mission was accomplished. Troy caught his first Manitoba master angler walleye. We'd had an incredible evening on the water, so we decided the following morning we'd spend a couple hours at the falls, pack up, and make our way back home.
Launch me, boy. Guys, probably the most surprising part of this entire tour is just the lack of other boats around. I mean, this is why people come north. Today at Wekusko, it's a Saturday, perfect sunny day, no wind, and there is 0 boats in the parking lot, 0 trailers. It's crazy. I mean, if you want to get away from all the other boats, do your own thing. And then on top of that, the fishing's pretty incredible, as you guys have seen. I mean, north is the place to come. Here comes Troy. Running. Look at that guy, he's fast. So fast, his pants are falling down.
The Walleye Express.
You ready for a little competition, Troy?
I think I'm ready. I like some good competition.
All right, Troy's a pretty competitive guy. All right, we're going first to 5 walleyes. Loser has to drive all the way home. That's like 7 hours back to Winnipeg. I'll give you a head start, Troy. A little trick for you guys at home. If you starting your fishing day and you got a frozen block of minnows, pour some water in it. Makes it way easier. In like 2 minutes, they'll all be good to go. Rather than just chiseling away at them.
Big thing.
Yeah.
So you see your line float down.
Number 1. Number 3. Number 5. That's what you call clean sweep. I do fish a little more than Troy, so I probably should win. There isn't too much strategy with a jig and a minnow, but one thing that is very easy to forget, when you slide your minnow on, you gotta check that hook point for scales, because it's so easy. You slide the minnow on, bunch of scales pack on the tip, and that makes it way tougher to penetrate the fish's mouth when you set the hook. So all it takes is just like a little attention to detail and you'll have a way better hook set. But check for those scales. Ooh. Come on. Ooh, that's pretty long actually. We're gonna measure that guy. Not what I was expecting. All right, we're throwing it on the board. Guys, our second master of the trip, not a chunky beast, but that is a long fish, 28 inches on the nose. Manitoba master angler going right back. This is a beaten old walleye. Look at that guy. He's got some stories to tell, I'm sure. Gone. So we thought the falls was more of like a small fish thing, but now we've caught a 27 and a 28 here. Boom. All right guys, that is pretty much a wrap on a trip. We still have to drive home yet. I want to talk about the gear a little bit. If I had to pick one walleye rod for many tactics, it would be a 7 to a 7.5 foot medium light rod. Troy's using a 7.5 foot. This is a G Loomis Walleye series. I was using a Shimano Kamara 7.2 medium light. Both awesome. That long rod, it's good for keeping fish pinned. It's good if you're pitching. It's a nice long rod if you're rigging, like Lindy rigging with a small hook. It's just very versatile. As far as reels go, 2500 to 3000 size reel. These are the new Stratics. We had 10 pound Power Pro on both of these. Unless you're doing something real stupid, you should never break 10 pound braid. And then for leaders, 12 pound fluorocarbon connected with a uni to uni knot. And then I was using the Hyper Rattle, little gliding type bait, very aggressive. If you saw, I was doing more of a snap jigging. Troy is using a Google Eye jig by Acme as well, and a little more subtle, sitting it there, and the fish are coming in and smelling that minnow and chopping it. So both work, both different presentations. We put a smackdown on some walleyes this week. This tour's not done. There's gonna be a southern kick of the tour yet. It'll be a couple weeks till we do that. Manitoba has some incredible walleye fishing. This Grass River chain, it exceeded expectations. This is my first time fall walleye fishing up here, and it will not be my last.